tipping the scales at only 4,110 pounds. The 20RD SE Grey Wolf, it's a smartly appointed camper that fits into a lot of budgets. It's very easy on the tow capacities, and it's just a great model for couples that gives you a lot of big windows that little campers don't normally bring to the table. This floor plan and the other ones like it, like our Jayco and our Keystone Springdale versions of something like this, or we even have something kind of similar in a Coachman Freedom Express Lightweight if you're looking for laminated. What I like about them is the separation you have between a living area with a bonus sleeping U-dinette and the normal master bedroom. It's kind of cool that it's good for guest sleeping, like if you have a weekend with the grandkiddos or something like that, because things like the kitchen and the bathroom sort of form an organic hallway that kind of separate everything for you. Now, even though this is a simple camper, they have really smart appointments on it. This is a really smart money product. Like you got your shower surround panels, our skylight above. They still have the bigger Max Air fan of the full-blown Grey Wolves, because this is an SE, a special edition. This is the simplified edition, if you will. It does everything that matters and nothing that doesn't. But because of their volume, they were actually able to standardize a couple of the nicer features, like that Max Air fan, the waterproof counter and tabletops throughout. When I pan over here, you see we've got the same giant farm sink and waterproof countertop as the and even recessed stove and sprayer faucet here that you have in the rest of the Grey Wolf family. But here you have it in their most baseline simplified product. It's really impressive what they were able to put together here. Now this is an easy cleaning carpetless floor plan, which is one of the best parts of it. My little watch is ringing at me. They're going to have to go to voicemail. You know, you can sweep it out, Swiffer it out, you're good to go. Now, Jayco has a slightly different furniture arrangement from this, but they have both proven very, very popular. Some folks like the big dinette to sleep guests. Some folks like the split dinette and miniature sofa in the Jayco for seating. I don't think either answer is wrong. What they have in common is all of these beautiful windows and the pleated night shades in the back area of the camper here, just to let this thing open up. You don't usually get windows like this in a little couples camper. Most of the time, little couples campers are typically rear bathrooms, and they seem dark and boxy, and this feels so much bigger and more open. So, still have our DVD Bluetooth player. And what I like is the big overhead cabinets here. You can see that they didn't cut the cabinetry out just to make it a little bit cheaper, a little bit lighter. You know, there's nothing wrong with being less expensive or lighter weight. But, you know, tell me when too much storage is ever the wrong thing. You shouldn't want to give up any storage in this. Now, little detail things like even here in the SEs, we still have the hardwood cabinet door frame. You know, that's not particle board that's been stapled together with a sticker wrap right here. That's the difference between anything in the Cherokee family, like a Grey Wolf, versus a lot of the other Forest River travel trailers out there, is that this is a little bit trim package above. Kind of the reference I always use, because it makes sense to a lot of people, is this is the GMC versus the Chevy. There's nothing wrong with either of them, and they're both very, very similar. But this does a couple little nice tweak upgrades that the other models do not. So here we've got a 6.5 foot tall, really sweet, solid pantry space. What I also like is this rear corner being left open. This is kind of handy for maybe a trash basket, or you could put a couple little hangers on the wall, and that could be a nice little spot to maybe hang a broom or something like that. You got to kind of consider little things like that too, especially since you're not going to need to vacuum this thing out. Now, the kitchen area behind me, again, a nice little, the little extra hangout shelf they have right there is perfect for like a little wastebasket station or something. All your TV hookups would be here against the wall if you are so inclined to do it. And with this having a wood skeleton wall, there's studs in there, so you can actually mount like a pretty fair sized TV on that. What I think would be smart is if you did that. You put a double jointed swing arm right here so the TV could swing out and face the dining area, or you could pivot it at night and make it face the bedroom. That would be really smart and cool. Now, again, base model series, but you can see they didn't shrink your kitchen cabinets. These overhead cabinet doors right here, they're not sunken back. They're the same depth as the microwave, so you do still have full depth there. We got our partial stainless bundle going on. The cool little LED knob night lights on the stove is a nice touch as well. Very handy for like trying to sneak in a little midnight snack at night on the leftovers. I do that all the time. They have the same double big drawers as your Big Brother Grey Wolf and Cherokee. Everything that they do in the other series, they're still very consistent and nail all those things here. Everything is just an arm's length away, like the fridge. Simple to get to. So the bathroom, very traveling friendly. And by being right next to the door, because you can open the door, you can hit the bathroom very quickly when you're on the road. Or what's really slick about it is if you are outside, let's say you're camping in a chair out there, you can just hop in, use the bathroom, hop out. You're not tracking dirt and everything through the camper. Actually, one of our salesmen, he and his family, they had a Rockwood travel trailer, and it was an older floor plan. But since then, they newer models came out where things like the bathroom were more accessible, either with a direct entry door or by the main door. And one of the things that prompted them to swap out of their Rockwood into something else was just the fact that the missus of the household is like, man, every time someone comes in and out of the camper, I've got OCD and I feel like I got to sweep this thing out. Well, this camper, you don't have that problem. You still have the same big windows with the pleated shades and the full-length hanging closets here. Now, when you start getting into the more simplified series products from almost every brand, you'll lose an overhead cabinet and you'll gain an overhead shelf. Just an open shelf. This is a cabinet. You can put things in it and go down the road with it. You don't have to stock it like a shelf every time you reach your destination. We got our easy walk around bed. This little corner right here would be a perfect little like shoe corner to kick some shoes off when you come in the door. And we still have a nice little platform for things like CPAP stands or phone chargers and everything. It does everything it needs to in exactly the right quantities for just simple weekend couples camping, or even just a single person bopping around. And the exterior is simple, but simply effective. It's got just a simple camper exterior, a lot of earth tones. I call this the red stripe edition with, the obvious addition of the red stripe over the previous generations. It's got very smart appointments, very smart equipment in the right packages. But again, even though this is their simple series model, what's impressive is it's not what they removed to get to this price point and this weight category and this size. It's how much of the full equipment package of like the big Super Slide Grey Wolf behind it is still here. And you actually have to really look at it. A lot of people don't realize that this is the more simplified package. And by doing all their standardizations and with their volume purchasing power at Cherokee being Forest River's largest single travel trailer producer, they are able to they can just buy stuff, like a lot of upgrade stuff at prices that other factories can't match. So like we got our solar, how you doing folks? We got our simple solar prep up here. A lot of simple series will lose that. When you start looking around in here, you see we have the same big under bed pass-through type under the, from door to under bed storage of a bigger camper. The same bigger baggage door on here. We still have a propane connection up front next to that jack for a little quick connect if you want to, throw a grill on it. They're still using the same adjustable foot MORryde step above system here, that awesome stable step. The anti-slam entry door that, you have to really fling this thing to make it slam shut. You have to really heave it. And even then, I still have to push it shut. Bigger entry handle standard, even on a more simplified product. Everything that matters is still standard here. And what's cool is it still runs on the same custom engineered chassis as the other Grey Wolves. And why do you care about that? Well, the answer is because it makes the camper ride lower to the ground. It's easier to get in and out, which is why it has a double step instead of a triple. It has a lower center of towing gravity and less overhead clearance for headwinds, or if like you park it inside a barn or garage or whatever. It's just easier to manage. It's an easier to manage size because it's lower to the ground. It's not a shorter ceiling, it's a shorter stance. Really smart. A lot of brands, when you get to the more simplified series, you'll start to see the corrugated nose come back. They use the same extra thick painted aluminum skin on this that they use on the one behind it, if you notice. The tires, well, actually, before we get down to the tires, I want to point out we still have black tank flush kit and outside hot and cold utility shower. Everything that matters is here. I gotta quit saying that. I've said that a million times, and I bet I'm annoying you by now. The tires, mag wheels, and valve stem pressure little indicators, so that if your tire pressure falls below the appropriate PSI for this model, it'll flip from green to red. At a glance, you can see if you need to attend to your tires, because tire underinflation is the #1 cause of flat tires on travel trailers and fifth wheels. So at a glance, they have already proactively helped notify you if you are putting yourself into an less than ideal scenario there. Backup camera ready, oversized downspouts, big old windows, and our cargo travel rack on the back here, just like the rest of the family. You do not need to take the spare tire off that to fold that down. I never remember the number on this. Where's the sticker? 200-pound load limit on that one right there. Good size awning on this too, which is fantastic. And under the awning, right above those tires, you have your outside TV hookups if you choose to do a little bit of that. Now, the speakers actually have a blue backlit LED thing, which is kind of cool, a little bit different. Floor construction. We've got 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking standing on top of 2x3 longitudinal studs. That run the, every 12 inches on center. The wall construction on this, some studs are a little closer than others, but it averages 12 inches on center, which is significantly better actually than industry standard. A good trailer has 16-inch on center walls. A cheap trailer is going to have 24-inch on center walls or more, and this averages 12, to give you an idea. They put the structure where it needs to be, kind of like the roof. This has a roof rated for 2,800 pounds you can walk all over the place on. Pretty darn good. They've done everything it needs to, but they've loaded it up with equipment from their volume purchasing power that is going to give you more use and enjoyment over time with things that don't expire. A warranty rolls off a camper, which is funny because Forest River is one of the few brands that still includes first-year roadside assistance on a towable RV. A lot of brands have actually silently dropped that. They're still including it, but even then, they still include more features that will be there and last you longer, even, 5, 10, 15 years down the road. So if that sounds attractive, give us a call. The only thing we don't do is hidden fees. Other than that, we do everything else: hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, everything in between. So take care. Stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.